Well, hello everyone. This is gamefox. I hope you're doing well, and welcome to the new video dedicated to the recurring characters of the Elder Scrolls saga. Indeed, a name we encountered during a game may not seem foreign to us. This impression is not always the result of confusion, especially because of the many similar names, but of a proven fact. Even though in the Elder Scrolls, NPCs often represent the secondary characters without any real interest, fans will never get tired of hunting down the recurring and iconic characters that have marked the saga, because you probably met some of them without realizing it. We will try to find as many of them as possible in this video, focusing on the last part of the saga, which is none other than Skyrim. Here we go. First of all, apart from the gods who are immortal and almost always represented in each of the games, we are going to focus on the most famous one, who is none other than Maith the Liar. This Khajiit, who has been able to make his way through the ages and has many theories weighing on his shoulder, has already been present since Morrowind through Elder Scrolls Online, allowing the developers to hint at the features they had to give up. The character ended up becoming a real running gag. Gratian Cerelius. This is an NPC already present in the Morrowind expansion named Blood Moon, who can be hired by the player as a miner in the third opus. We find him in Skyrim through a quest provided by his great-grandson, who will send us to investigate the mystery of his disappearance. No doubt, you guessed it, he will be found dead, just like our next character, Cinderion. As you might expect, this is Cinderion, who can be found in Blackreach. Known since Oblivion and Skingrad as one of the best alchemists of all time, this specialist of the Nimrud will not survive with all his research. Giab, the player's first interlocutor in Morrowind. Giab is the prisoner who wakes you up before your arrival in Vardenfell. Present in the first DLC of Skyrim entitled Dawnguard, we learn that he lost his life at the beginning of the Oblivion Crisis, and that his soul, captured by Dremora, has been wandering in the void ever since. Without really understanding that he is dead, Giab searches for the scattered pages of his autobiography in the Soul Cairn. Falx Carius. This NPC was a captain of Fort Frostmoth on the island of Solstheim in Morrowind, where he lost his life 10 years later during the explosion of the Red Mountain. He will then be resurrected by Ildari, probably to take revenge on Nelith. But the brave soldier, convinced that he's less dead than alive, will rebel and will end up locked up in the dungeon. The player will finally find him in the third DLC of Skyrim, entitled Dragonborn, before being able to kill him. Lucien Lachance. In order to stay in the category of ghosts, what could be better than this allusion to Lucien Lachance that we have in Skyrim? Referred to as a spectral assassin in the 5th opus, Lucien is in fact a speaker of the Dark Brotherhood, and a prominent member of the Black Hand in Oblivion. He is the one who recruits the player into the organization, before being killed by a traitor who wants to destroy the assassins. Dervenin. This character, who first appeared in the Shivering Isles DLC and the second Oblivion expansion, is actually the High Priest of Mania in New Sheoth. A few years later in Skyrim, he will join the mortals as a beggar, determined to bring his master back to his kingdom. Nelith. Present in the third opus of the saga, this influential member of House Telvanni, who will help the player to become the head of this same house, will have had to go into exile in Vardenfell a few years later, during the eruption of the Red Mountain. Having found refuge in Solstheim, he will not hesitate to intervene in the intrigues of the island, even if it means making some enemies along the way. Nelacar. Nelacar is a controversial mage who was expelled from the College of Winterhold. He now resides in the inn of the same town, and is somewhat disturbing with his obscure experiments. This character will offer himself to you in the quest of Prince Azura, and will allow you to decide whether or not to corrupt his star. This powerful Altmere mage is not new, since you can already see him in Morrowind inside Durinai Caverns. Karstag. This frost giant that we could fight in the Blood Moon expansion of Morrowind is back in Skyrim as a secret boss in the Dawnguard expansion. Beware, he's a bad guy. The Night Mother. No doubt that the matron of the assassins has survived through the episodes, emblem of the Dark Brotherhood. This character appeared for the first time in Daggerfall. Uderfricta. Behind this complicated name hides neither more nor less than a troll that can be seen in Skyrim when you chase Cicero in the Dawnstar Sanctuary. Remember that this character, or at least this creature, is already available in Oblivion. Shadowmere. Of course, without surprise we find the famous Horse of Darkness, already attributed to the elite of the Dark Brotherhood from the 4th opus. which is Oblivion, Ulfgar the Unending. This Nordic who in Elder Scrolls Morrowind asks the Nerevarine to send him to Sovngarde can be seen in Skyrim at the end of the game in the Hall of Valor. The Glenmoral Witches, 3 in number. These fearsome witches, known to cure lycanthropy and vampirism, are first seen in Morrowind. They can be seen in Skyrim as Harbingers, a character played by the player in Oblivion. He will become in the Shivering Isles expansion, the new Daedric Prince of Madness, after putting an end to the Greymark of Jiggalag. For the first time in an Elder Scrolls, a player can meet his former character, specifically in the Mad God quest. Come on, for the end, because I know you want more, here's a little bonus. It's not exactly the same character, but from the sound of it, it's an allusion to him. This is Romlan Dreth, a liquor smuggler in the town of Riften. Even if this name doesn't ring a bell, this character shares the same surname as Valen Dreth, who should ring a bell. Indeed, he's the annoying dumber who keeps putting you down during the introduction of Oblivion. Killed by the player in a mission of the Dark Brotherhood, Romlan Dreth claims to be one of the descendants of Valen Dreth. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon for some new videos. This was GameFox. Alright, goodbye everyone.